Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Greg from East Coast Eyes, and today I'm going to be doing an in-depth review of the Nike Vapor Head. So this head is one of the newest offerings from Nike. It's a high school only spec, so the 6.5 at the top, and it doesn't have to meet the 3 inches at the bottom, so high school only. Not sure on the price of this head yet, but it'll probably be somewhere in the 90 to 100 range, just like the CEO and the Lakota. So not sure on the price, but let's talk about the weight for a second. One of the things I like to cover when I review heads. I don't have an official weight for this head, so what I did was I took my USPS approved scale and measured this head and measured my Lakota. The Lakota weighs 4.8 ounces, and they were both strung exactly the same string, same mesh, same everything. So theoretically, you should be able to compare the two. So here's just what I ended up with when I weighed the two heads. Alright, so you can see that the fully strung Vapor was just slightly heavier than the fully strung Lakota, and with the with the Lakota at 4.8, that would place this unstrung head around 5 ounces, which is right in the middle of the pack. You know, that's what an Evo X or a Super Power weighs, so certainly not a heavy head in that regard. So then let's move on to one of the most innovative features in this head. You know, it's really rare to find something in a Lacrosse head these days that's truly groundbreaking. Some companies try and do a little gimmick, and I guess groundbreaking isn't the right word to describe this, but I'm pretty impressed by it. And that is what's going on down here at the throat. What you see here is 2 screw holes. And so this is the STX placement, and this is, I believe, the Brian placement. Warrior's a little bit lower, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, 2 screw holes. This has been something that I've always not been happy about Lacrosse heads, is how, you know, Lacrosse companies haven't been able to hop on one uniform best practice for where the screw position should be. Well, this is a good way to solve it, because nobody wants to drill a million holes in their shaft. It's just annoying. So this is a good way to solve it. Multiple screw holes, and they still look very solid, doesn't compromise the rigidity, and you can see they're offset a little bit, so the screw will sit down in there in the head. That is a feature I really like in this head. So let's move on to the styling. You know, the asymmetrical Nike logos are one of the most prominent features about this head, and something that you either hate it or you like it. Personally, I love it. You can see this huge Nike swoosh up here off to the side, and this huge, even larger Nike swoosh off to the side on the throat. I think they look absolutely sick, and again, it's something you haven't seen in the head. Hats off to Nike for thinking up a couple cool ideas for this head. And rumor has it that these are going to come in different colors, the swooshes are, so I think that'll be a really cool way to accessorize and custom, you know, have your head be a little custom without having to do that dual shot molding process that people don't like too much. For the sidewall, it's a nice aggressive sidewall, sort of like the Lakota, but flipped around. Really aggressive, really sleek, really clean. Really like the sidewall design. So let's talk about the face shape a little bit. The face shape of this head is similar to, I would compare it best to the Evo 3. A nice gradual pinch with a narrow throat, and a pinch that starts to flare out gradually as you hit right in the middle of the head. So that'll make it a perfect midfielder head. I'd say it's just a tiny bit more pinched than Evo 3, the high school version, but right just about with that. A little less pinched than the Lakota, and of course a little more pinched than the CEO, because that's a college spec and it has to meet the requirements down here. But I would most compare the pinch to the Evo 3, which is the head that people really like right now. And overall, it's a really pleasing face shape. Should be perfect for any position. And so that leads us into the offset. If you look here, like a lot of Nike and STX heads, it's got that forward cant offset where it goes kind of a downward slope and then levels out somewhere around a quarter of the way up the head. This provides a little quicker release, and just places the pocket up a little further and gives you a really nice feeling when you're cradling. So now let's talk about the rigidity of the head. Now, I hate a flexible head. I don't face off. I play attack, and So I like how stiff this head is because I hate my heads to warp and pinch with time. I don't want to have to worry about putting a field hockey ball in it or anything like that. And you can feel that this head has a very sturdy shape, nice thick construction, really solid thick construction through the throat and the top walls. And so it's certainly not gonna warp like a lot of heads like the Clutch and the Superpower would. So finally, of course, my favorite part is the stringing. I would rate this head as an A+ for stringing for sure. The top string holes are huge, which I like. You can fit leathers through them. Also allow you to do this double triangle top. Some people call it the bear claw or the crown top, something that looks really cool. And then just like the Lakota, it's got just about the same number of sidewall holes as the Lakota. You can see they're frequent, and they go all the way and wrap around, all the way from the very bottom of the head all the way up to the top. So no scarcity of sidewall holes, which is always a good thing. The top couple are big and rectangular, which is perfect for not letting knots slip through. And I was able to string this head up with ease the first time with no problems, and I really like the way this head's strung. Another thing that I noticed is similarity it shares with the Stallion is the bottom of the sidewall rail is more flat and wide instead of rounded. This was also a trait that the Stallion had, and I kind of like this because it pushes the mesh to the outside, which is going to help the ball not get stuck in there, but still keep that nice pinch. So overall, guys, I think this is an awesome head, something that I would be more than happy to play with, and something I think will be an awesome addition to Nike's new line. So anyway, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.